continue to breathe, right, with ease. We'll figure it out as we go along. So here, noticing the breath, we're flowing into a little bit of a squared breath. So first, pay attention to your breath. Can you breathe through the nose? Is everything clear in the nostrils, the lungs? If the answer is no, then of course you do the best you can, right? And stay just watching the breath. If you want to take the breath a little bit further, notice the length of your inhale and the length of your exhale. Now maybe you're going to add a little bit of a breath retention there. So you inhale to your count, it's probably count to either 3 or 4, and then you hold the breath for the same count, and then you exhale, maybe to the same count or a little bit longer. And then start again. Never forcing the breath in any way. If you wanted to add the last part to it, you inhale to your count, you hold the breath for the same count, and you exhale to the same count. And then you just hold the void, right? When you exhale everything, you just hold that. And then you start again. So do 4 more rounds on your own here. Again, I'm not going to cue it so that you can just flow with your own breath. Nice and relaxed as you do this pranayama, this breath work, right? Maybe you notice that you're clenching your jaw or you tighten through the shoulders. Try to relax and just do 2 more rounds on your own right here. Square breath. Slowly letting the breath return to normal. Just feel the effects of this pranayama. So when we hold the breath or hold the void, it's a little fiery action. Sometimes if you have anxiety, it will trigger that anxiety. So if you notice that for yourself, then don't hold the breath, just inhaling and exhaling all the time, right? I'm going to start rolling the shoulders. Bringing the hands into prayer when you're ready. Anjali Mudra. So we're pressing thumbs into the chest, lifting through the elbows, relaxing. across of your legs. I'm going to turn the wheel a little bit here. So option one is just to do arms, shoulders, and head, right? So here we're reaching the prayer forward, right? You could bring the head up a little bit. Exhale, pull the hands back in, head comes back to neutral or comes down towards the chest. So if you want to do arms, shoulders, and head only, stay with this movement. Right? Inhale, you extend, exhale, you pull back. If you wanted to go more into a cat and cow, right? So here, inhale, open chest and heart. Exhale, pull it in, curl, draw it in. So cat and cow here, and if you wanted a little bit more qigong, tai chi flavor, right? You could here start turning the wheel and then drawing in. Coming forward. So moving your way, but notice your spine, yeah? 2 more rounds. Yes. And then coming back to a neutral position. Press the arms out in front of you, let the hands separate, loosey-goosey wrists. Turn the palms in towards your face, lift through the elbows, relax shoulder blades. Fingertips could touch or not, right? So like you're holding a big beach ball or hugging a big oak tree, or of course in these times, maybe you think about hugging somebody that you haven't hugged in a long, long time, right? Now notice your shoulders, pull the shoulders back, lift through the elbows, engage your core, breathe, and notice what's happening. So we're going to use our own body for a little bit of weight and resistance, right? So probably by now your upper arms and or your core is starting to talk to you. See what it has to say. Of course, you can lower down at any time. Then notice the shoulders again, pull the shoulders down, press through the elbows, maybe make a silly face. If the mind needs something to do, you can wiggle fingers and or toes. Breathe here, holding the energy ball. Three more rounds of breath. And then slowly let the elbows get heavy and they turn down towards the earth. The right hand comes in front of the left and you pull it to your heart and you curl back into your little cat. And coming up, releasing the hands, roll the shoulders a little bit, and make your way onto your back. I know, right? We're not coming onto all fours, but we're coming onto the back. So come into a Tadasana, mountain pose on your back. And especially if you have back issues, right? Notice what's happening with your sacrum, that bony triangular part at the bottom of the spine. What's going on with shoulder blades? Is the chin slightly tucked? And then find mountain pose here. So the legs are energized, right? The arms are alongside the body. Now float the arms over the chest and float the arms down. If you want to go further the next round, right? Maybe bring arms alongside the ears. Notice shoulder blades relaxing. Perhaps hands and or thumbs could touch the floor behind you and then float down. Twice more at least, right? Beautiful. So this is option one, right? Option two, we're going to add a leg to this. So inhale, bring everything up or extend everything long. As you exhale, draw the right knee into the chest and hug it in. Now here are a couple of options. You could stay here. You could flex both feet, engage the the chest up toward the knee. You could also float the left leg up a little bit, or do none of that, right? And then slowly lower everything down, extend everything, exhale, bring the arms alongside the body. Nice and slow. Inhale, bring the arms back up. Exhale, other side. Other knee draws into the chest. You go as far as you want with this movement, right? And then inhale, extend everything long. Exhale, claim your space, bring the arms alongside the body. This is option 2, right? Just this little bit here. Option 3 coming up. Inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, draw the knee into the chest. Do your version of this. Inhale, extend everything long again. Exhale, other side. Adding on now. Inhale, extend everything long. Exhale, draw both knees into the chest. Hold on either behind the knees or wrap your arms around the knees into Apanasana, and you can rock from side to side here for a moment. Then lower head and chest down, bring your arms either into a T or a cactus. The backs of the hands need to be able to touch the floor. Squeeze the legs together. Kathy, draw the knees back into the chest, right? And then exhale, twisting to one side. So knees come over to one side. If that's an option, if your body's like, nope, I'm not ready, of course you're not doing it, right? Keep the shoulders down on the floor if you can. Prop your knees if you need to. Head could turn. And then inhale back through center. Exhale to the other side. Take your time, especially if you have some knee stuff going on, back stuff going on, knee stuff of course too, right? So just checking in. Relaxing shoulders, maybe turning the head. Then come back through center, head comes back through center, knees come back through center, extend everything long. Exhale the arms alongside the body. Okay, take a little mini Shavasana here. We're going to continuously add on now. So if you like one of the earlier sequences, please stay with them. Whatever works for your body. Here we go, mountain pose. Inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, draw the right knee into the chest. Pause, breathe. What do you want to do here? Then inhale, extend everything long. Exhale, other side. Inhale, bring everything long. Exhale, draw both knees into the chest. Inhale, extend everything long. Exhale, claim your space for a moment, but bring the arms into a T or cactus position. Draw the knees back into the chest. Exhale, twist to one side. Breathe here. Inhale back through center. Exhale, other side, twist to the other side. Inhale back through center. Draw the knees into the chest. Wrap your arms around the legs and or hold on behind the knees, right? Draw yourself into this Apanasana, into this tight little energy ball. Rock a little bit from side to side. Slowly rolling over to one side into a fetal position, all the way over. Okay, we want to warm up the core a little bit more. So this is all about core awareness, right? So do squeeze the thighs together, engage your core, come back through center. Once you come through center with closed legs, yes, and you might be rolling all over your mat, that's okay. Open into cobbler, right? Pause, breathe, open thighs, knees. Squeeze the thighs together like you're trying to kind of pop a balloon. Squeeze the legs together and then roll over to the other side, nice and slow. Maybe. And if you need to adjust on your mat, please do. Oh, I'll moan for you. How about that? Moan and groan for you. Awesome. Now, let's do this again. Squeeze the legs together, engage your core, roll onto your back. Once you get there, pause, open the knees, bring the soles of the feet together into cobbler. See what's going on in your body, in your low back. Then squeeze the legs together. Okay, now use the core to roll over to the other side. Once you come into that fetal position, rest, right? And just really take stock and see what's going on. Now I want you to do 3 more rounds of this, right? I'm going to be quiet for a moment because I want you to notice when you go into autopilot. And it's usually when I'm being quiet. Now here's what I want you to look for. Are you compensating with the shoulders? Are you letting your thighs splay apart before you come to center? Are you holding your breath? Are you moving really fast? And then the last bit to pay attention to, in your mind, are you going, I don't really want to do this, right? If your thoughts are going that way, you probably need to do it, but of course do as many as you like. So noticing, calling yourself out on it, noticing if you're fudging, yeah? So you come through center with the thighs still together. In center, that's when you open into cobbler. You pause, you check in with your low back, your core, your shoulders. You squeeze the thighs together. Then you roll over to one side. Now the next time you roll over onto your left side, we're going to pause in fetal position. And yes, you could moan and groan, you can sigh the breath out, you're like, oh, this is too much, right? All right, so this is option 1. Option 2, bring the top heel towards the buttocks. Reach the right arm around and see if you can grab hold of ankle, foot. Maybe this is where you need to be, where you want to be. If you can't reach that ankle, no big deal. You can press that foot up and back behind you, right? Now, do you want to straighten the bottom leg and come into a Tadasana mountain pose here, right? Do you want to extend the bottom arm alongside the ear? Can you bring thighs and knees towards one another? And most importantly, can you breathe here? Right? Beautiful. Now slowly extend the top leg. Bring the top arm alongside the ear. Come into a side water slide. Seems appropriate for today where it's really wet everywhere, right? So here, side water slide. And then slowly from here, roll onto your back. Maybe you're rolling off your mat, that's okay. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock a little bit, play. Because you know we're going to roll to the other side now, right? So when you feel ready, make your way to the other side, fetal position. Yeah, you might need to shimmy on the mat a little bit. Yes, bend the legs deeply first. Right here. you to check on. Are you lifting so high that you're rolling onto the other hip? Please don't lift so high. We're just trying to lengthen, right? Alternate here in your own time. If you want to work harder, you never quite lower down. You would be almost like swimming here, right? So I leave that up to you. The legs are nice and straight, right? We're not bending the legs. We're not trying so hard that we bend the legs. We're noticing a fluidity in the movement. So if it's a little jerky, you're trying too hard, right? Now, next step with this, and if you need to rest in between, please rest. Maybe both legs are lifting, maybe both arms are lifting, or one or the other. I'm going to do 3 tries here, right? So make sure that the midsection doesn't lift. So press the pubic bone down, lift the legs, maybe floating the arms up, saving the world one breath at a time, right? Maybe. One more round. So a little reverse boat pose. And then coming down, bending the legs and maybe doing windshield wipers as you pull your arms into cactus. Yeah. Checking in with the low back. Yeah? Okay, next option. Come back through center, press the midsection down, keep your legs bent. The feet are flexed like you're walking on the ceiling. And without compromising the shoulders, right, we're going to give the command for the thighs and the knees to lift. And let's just see what happens. And if nothing happens, laugh, right, and try one leg at a time. Beautiful. Now, if it's an option for you, and rest in between, right? Come back down, rest for a moment. If it's an option for you to reach the arms around and grab hold of ankles and or feet, you could go for that. Sometimes one hand will reach, the other doesn't. Even if you can't reach anything, it's okay. You can repeat what we just done, right? Now, are thighs and knees lifting as you press the midsection down, and then maybe head and chest can lift, right? Full bow pose. And if this pose brings you joy, you can rock a little bit, either back and forth or side to side, right? Like, have fun with this one. If you need to come out, you can always come back in. We're going to be here for a moment. So the feet are pressing up into the hands, right? You press the midsection down. And when you need to come down, slowly float everything down, stack your forearms, rest the forehead on those forearms. Check in with your low back. So maybe a little leg action here, right? Yeah. And then from here, we're making our way into either table or down dog. So we're going to pull the hands underneath the shoulders, hug those elbows in, and you can either press into table, plank, down dog, whatever you want to do, right? So if you're coming onto all fours into table, we're going to start wagging the tail a little bit just to see what the hips feel like, right? If you're in down dog, walk the dog, maybe nodding the head yes or shake it no. We're going to flow a little bit here, right? So if you're in table, and Kathy, if you can come into table, this is the first choice. We're going to exhale into a cat, inhale into cow, exhale into cat, but all at the same time into a child's pose, right? So you exhale into your cat and you shift the sits bones back over the heels and you come into child. So this would be option 1, right? And then as you inhale, you scoot forward into your cow. You exhale into cat. You come back into cow. Exhale, cat and child's pose. Next option, and please stay with this option if that suits your body, right? Next option would be you come up into table, you curl the toes under, come up into down dog, back into table, back into child. Then the last option is table, down dog, plank, down dog, table, child. So move your way here for a moment, right? Do your vinyasa choice, your flow choice. If you're doing plank, make sure that your buttocks is not too high up in the air, right? And then your shoulder blades glide back, down, away from the ears. There, much better. Okay, good. And we're going to have about 3 to 4 more rounds here of your vinyasa of choice. Nice, slow, mindful movements. You know your body best, so move accordingly. Maybe one more round here, one more vinyasa, and then coming into your child's pose and or puppy pose to rest. Side breath out. And then slowly with your next inhale, walk the hands up towards the knees and sit either on your heels or come into a seated position of choice. And we're going to inhale the arms out and up. And exhale, claim your space. Inhale, arms out and up. Interlace the fingers into steeple. Exhale, over into a half moon to one side. Breathe. You can always modify by lowering one arm down, right? Inhale back through center. Exhale, other side. Inhale back through center. Exhale, lower the arms out in front of you, chest high. Bring the right arm over the left, right, reaching over to the left. We're not turning the torso, we're just reaching the arm across. And then the left hand is squeezing in that right arm. So kind of like this, Kathy, like we're preparing for threading the needle, right? So you're hugging, and you got a nice shoulder stretch here. So I'm going to give you this option for if you, like me, and you have shoulder issues and you're like, I'm not going to thread the needle, no way, right? So nice little stretch here. Then extend the arms back out to the front. Let the left arm come over the right, all the way over, reaching towards the right until you feel the shoulder stretch. And then the right hand squeezes in on that shoulder, right? So come from the bottom there, Kathy. Reach that arm, there you go, and then kind of think, yes. So that will be your next option, right? Come back through center, float the arms down, roll the shoulders a little bit. Come onto all fours into table. All right, let the right foot just slide out into a little kickstand. Extend the left leg long. Yeah, keep the knee down, there you go. Extend the left leg long, roll open onto that right hand so that you're facing the wall over here, Kathy. So nope, yeah. And now bring that arm up into the sky, right? And here we're checking our energy line. And then as you exhale, thread that left arm underneath the right. Right? If you can get your shoulder down to the ground, wonderful. If you cannot, equally wonderful. Inhale, come right back up. If balance is a little iffy today, right, this extended leg could come out in front of you a little bit as a tripod. So exhale, thread the needle. Inhale. choice, right? You could cat cow, wagging of the tail, down dog plank, nothing maybe resting and checking in with the breath. There's always plenty of time in between, right? And then when you feel ready, and don't rush, we're going to come onto all fours, get into table, and remember, if you have shoulder issues, you don't want to do this part, do it in a chair with me. So here we go. We're going to let the left foot slide out over the floor into a little kickstand. We're going to straighten the right leg, and as we do that, we're peeling open. We're going to shift our body weight over into the left hand, the left side, right, and peel that right arm up into the sky when you're ready. If you have shoulder issues as well, your hand could just be on the hip, and you just open chest and heart. Now, as you exhale, start threading the needle, reaching that right arm through. Some of us can get the shoulder down to the ground, others need to stay higher up. Inhale, coming up, exhale, threading through. And there might be some shakiness going on, right? That's okay. You could also bring that extended leg out in front of you a little bit to help you with balance. Yes, gorgeous, wonderful. 2 more. Of course, you can do as many as you like, right? The next time you come up, pause and check in with your energy lines here, right? Like what's going on? Can you really find openness in the chest, the heart? Do you want to engage your core and float that top leg up? And if so, how high? Could it come hip high, maybe? Or are you a little wobbly, right? Do you want to bring the heel towards the buttocks and reach around and go into your side bow as you spiral the heart, the chest forward and up? And then could you make a silly face? Maybe that's pushing it, right? And then extend that top leg, bring the arm back up into the sky, lower the leg down, transition into your vinyasa, into your flow, right? Maybe down dog plank, maybe a child's pose, maybe cat cow. If you're in a chair, yeah, awesome. I see some people in a chair. Do whatever you want, whatever brings you joy. Wonderful, I love it. And maybe taking a couple of breaths in your child's pose in your resting position. Always helps to sigh the breath out. Helps the parasympathetic nervous system, also the lymphatic system. It's a win-win. We're preparing for a little lunge, just so you know where we're headed, right? So inhale, come up into table. Step the left foot forward. You might need to take your hand and move the foot forward. Hands could be on the floor, on your blocks, and we're going to stay low, right? If you're working in a chair, it could look something like this, or here, right? So just a little lunge. Lengthen through the back of the neck, through the crown of the head. Engage your core, and then slowly peel or bring the hands to the front thigh, proposal pose, right? So when you come up into proposal pose, make sure your shoulders are over the hips, so it might take a moment to get there, right? Reach the right arm forward like you're shaking somebody's hand across the room, right? But your shoulder needs to stay over the hip. And then bring that right arm up into the sky, let your gaze follow. The left hand can press into the left thigh as you encourage that thigh to kind of go deeper into your lunge. Some of you might be able to go into a little back bend. For me, not so much, right? But you could try for that. And then exhale everything down to the ground. Go into your vinyasa choice. If you need to moan and groan, go for it. Yes, I see good options there. Wonderful. So move your way, right? So if you're in the chair, you can Come out of your lunge for a moment, do some cats and cows, right? And then we're all gonna meet in a table position and stepping the right foot forward, right? So right foot forward, staying down low for a moment, lengthening through the crown of the head. Now engage your core, come up a little bit, pause, breathe, and then bring the hands to the front thigh, come up into your proposal pose. Check your knee ankle alignment in the front leg, shoulders over the hips, right? The right hand can rest on the thigh, left hand comes out in front, you check with your shoulder, and then inhale that left arm up, follow it with your gaze. Maybe you go into a little bit of a crescent here. But if you go into the crescent, are your hips moving out of this lunge, right? Then I would say don't go into the crescent, just kind of keep pressing the pelvis forward, right? Breathe in, breathe out. The right hand is pressing into the thigh to come deeper into the lunge. As you exhale the next time, bring your hands down to the floor. Now from here, if you can, step forward into Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Right? Or get there any way that you can. And just hang here for a moment. You can hold on to opposite elbows. Sigh the breath out, maybe using blocks underneath the hands so the shoulders can really relax. So today, we're going to play with a different coming up, right? So we're going to relax the arms down. We're going to bend the legs deeply. You could even have a block between your thighs if you wanted to, right? So we're relaxing the chest onto the thighs. That's what we're going to do. We're reaching the tailbone back like we're going into a chair pose. We're watching our feet, right? And then hands into prayer. Gaze comes up a little bit as we sink the hips a little lower, right? And then here, bring the prayer out to the front and inhale all the way up using your leg strength and maybe going into a back bend. Then come back through center, pull the prayer to the heart. Inhale the prayer out and up, going to your back bend. Come back through center, exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Legs are straight. Maybe, right? Everything is a maybe. Hang out there, breathe. Now when you're ready to come back up through chair pose, right? Here's where you release your arms. Maybe hands come into prayer. You bend your legs deeply. Chest is coming towards the thighs. Inner thigh work here for sure. Wiggle toes, right? Then reach the prayer out to the front. Your gaze follows that prayer. Think Charlie's Angels, right? And then inhale. Come up. Oh. Back bend. Back through center. Exhale, prayer to the heart. Now flow on your own. Inhale, prayer out and up, back bend. Come back through center, exhale, forward fold. Bend the legs deeply, let the chest come towards the thighs. As you bring the tailbone further back, let your gaze come out in front of you, send the prayer out. Use the strength of your legs to come all the way up. Yes. Go into your back bend if that's available. Come back through center, exhale, prayer to the heart. Wonderful. Now, inhale, prayer out and up, go into your back bend. Come back through center, exhale, forward fold. Stay there for a moment. heart. Now do 2 more rounds in your own way, right? Maybe you want to stay with my instruction, or maybe you want to do half sun salutes, that's fine. Beautiful. One more round. Moving with purpose and intent. Gorgeous, everybody. Power up through those legs, yep. Now the next time you come into mountain pose, so you hold a prayer to the heart, pause, and then release the arms alongside the body, right? Check in for a moment. And if you're in the middle of something, no worries. You can join back in here in a moment. Right, so mountain pose just to check in. Okay, so now I wanted to go into a chair pose for sure, but I'm not sure Kathy is ready to have to confirm. Is that okay? Okay, so if you have your thighs a little bit apart, right, you could have a block between your thighs, and if you don't have a block, make sure that you're not knocking these and or splaying the thighs out to the side. So for me and my body, I kind of like to bring my legs closer together so I can squeeze the legs together, right? Okay, now inhale your arms out and up. And then as you exhale, forward fold into Uttanasana, right? Into the forward fold. Because I find that it's harder to come up into a chair pose than down into a chair pose. But we're going to try both ways, so we'll see. So here, we already warmed up the hamstrings and everything, right? So again, you squeeze your legs together, you reach your buttocks back, you start sitting in your chair, right? So then reach your arms out to the front, let the torso come up a little bit, right? Because if you're still leaning forward, you're in skier. We don't want to be in skier, we want to be in chair. Squeeze the legs together, arms could do whatever you want. Hold it there. Wiggle toes. Make sure you're breathing. Awesome. Sit a little lower. And when you need to come out, straighten the legs, fold forward. Completely relax here. Nod the head yes, shake the head no. Bring the hands into prayer, pull the prayer up. Go into your back bend. Come back through center, claim your space. Roll the shoulders a little bit. Okay, so now we're trying to come from the top on down, which is a lot easier. Maybe you'll agree with me on that. We'll see how it goes, right? So, inhale, arms out and up overhead. Uttanasana here, right? You squeeze your legs together or you squeeze your block. Exhale, reach that buttocks, that tailbone back. Keep the shoulders relaxed, right? Wiggle toes. Come lower if you want. Could you rock up onto the toes? Could you come lower? You know there's always more, right? Yes, awesome. I seen it just now. Wonderful. Then lower the heels down. Bring the hands into prayer. Inhale fully. Exhale, twist to one side. So either elbow over opposite knee or twist up here with me. Inhale. steeple, relax shoulders away from the ears, press through the feet. Inhale fully as you exhale. Half moon again. If you need to modify, please modify, right? Come back through center. Exhale, other side. Inhale back through center. Exhale, claim your space. And I know I forgot to tell you, take the block out from underneath it or from between the thighs. If you still have it, perfectly fine, but now take it away, right? Now we're going to do a little half standing goddess, right? So if you needed to come to a wall or hold onto a chair, you could. Find your focal point, your drishti out in front of you. Shift your weight over into the right leg. So maybe you lift the left heel and you open the knee out to the side, and you bring your right arm into cactus or half goddess, right? So this is an option. You could also then draw the left knee hip high, flex the left foot, and bring the left arm out into goddess pose. And if you're a little wobbly and you need to come in and out, right, you're just a dancing goddess. You could also be up against the wall here. Practice here. In a chair, same thing. You would be here. Breathe in, breathe out. Right? So try to open the knee out to the side and lift. And then slowly bring the knee back through center. Lower the leg, lower the arms. Do some empty coat sleeves. And then find mountain pose again. Shift your weight over into the left leg this time. Reach the right heel up. Here, let the right knee open to the side, right? So you could stay here, add the left arm into cactus or goddess. You could draw that right knee hip high. If you're working with a chair, you could also be here, right? And you could work it this way. So have fun with it, right? Be the goddess that you are. Wiggle fingers, toes, maybe make a silly face. And when you need to come out, slowly bring the knee back through center. Lower the arms down. Come back into standing. Okay. So from here, we're going to bring the hands to the solar plexus, to the navel, right? We're going to do a standing cat position, so we're rounding, right? And then as we inhale, we're going to do our bird. So cat and bird right here. Cat curling, bird opening, flying, right? Continue here. Notice your spine as you move through this, right? And then the next time you open into bird, right? Your legs are straight, you press the pubic bone forward, the arms come behind you, you open your chest, your heart. Now bring the palms towards the low back if that's available, right? For me, not so much, maybe for you. Bring elbows closer to one another. So standing cobra, we've done this already earlier, so this should be easy. Should, right, is one of those words. And then slowly come back through center. Roll the shoulders a little bit. And I'm having too much fun with you because I just now looked at the clock and I'm like, yikes. All right, so make your way down to the floor any way you like, right? You could do this through vinyasa, or you could make your way into your shape of shavasana. If you feel like, no, I need another pose to complete my practice, please go into that pose, right? Don't rush. We'll be all right if we go a couple minutes over. And if you're like, Ursula, I just want to take a 15 to 20 minute shavasana, then of course I'll be more than fine with you turning us off, right? I know some of you have to go to work. a deluxe version of, right? Sigh the breath out a couple times. Play with your arm placement. We don't want to have anything crossed here, right? So if you have a tendency to cross your legs, maybe the legs open. If you have props, use your props. Breathe. Take a moment and just relax into the support of your mat. And then as you inhale and exhale, think about the color blue, sky blue. Imagine that we're all together laying in a field right now, looking up at a nice blue sky. Completely relaxing, thinking sky blue as we're looking up in our mind's eye. Somewhere in the sky, there's a black dot, and you're trying to focus in on that black dot as you inhale and exhale. And as your eyes focus on this black dot, you notice it's a bird. This could be any bird. Maybe an eagle, a hawk, any bird that you like. Soaring in the sky on this beautiful day as you gaze up at this blue sky and this bird. You follow it with your mind's eye, and as you follow it with your mind, you relax more and more. Breathing in and breathing out. slowly pressing yourself up into any seated position, bringing your hands once again into prayer. Anjali Mudra. May there be kindness in your gaze when you look within. Om Shanti.